The next trade I wanted to talk about, man, was the Kansas City Chiefs sending Trent McDuffie to the Los Angeles Rams, and Kansas City got a 2020 first round pick, a 2026 fifth round pick, a 2026 sixth round pick, and a 2027 third round pick. And in the beginning, my bad, I said 2020. It's 2026 first round pick. So they got 4 picks in return for Trent McDuffie. And, you know, I have a lot that I want to say on this because I feel like one side won more than the other. But I want to hear what you got to say first because I don't want to give the benefit of the doubt. And next thing you know, you say a little something and it makes more sense in my head than it does right now.
I think this is one of those situations where you look at a whole other sport, the Magic Grizzlies trade with Desmond Bain, right? It's like this is a team that they felt like, hey, we bring in a guy who can 3D and ball handle a little bit. He kind of shoots the ball, 3 point good percentage. He fills all the problems that we have and in one person that we're willing to give up a bunch of picks because we think we're going to do so well that it doesn't matter whether we have first round picks or not. They're irrelevant for us because we're doing so well that our picks are in high. I think the Chiefs are in an unfortunate position. McDuffie's such a good player for them on a team that fluctuates between having a great offense, then they have a great defense. Then they have a great offense, then they have a great defense, like year by year. I think McDuffie is the guy they should have kept and should have rolled with, but they understand that they're in a rebuild. Like this team needs to rebuild, they need to do stuff, and they need to do it fast because they want to keep that window open for Mahomes, obviously, and do whatever they can to get back into it. So they traded off for a bunch of picks. On the other side, I think the Rams gave up a lot of picks for that, and that's a team that's kind of aging. You don't know what Stafford's going to do on the following year. He's already committed to coming back. I also get it. You want to really double down and make sure you get this one ring. So the Rams last time they won Super Bowl against my Bengals, unfortunately. That was a team that was willing to just, we don't care how old you are. We don't care where you're going. We don't care about the money. We just want to get our ring. Give us one and it'll be worth it. I think that's kind of the approach they're going to do again here. They sold the farm. They know that they got a little clock behind them that they're going to have to rebuild soon and start to realize how much money they spent recently with how much talent's still going to be there within the next 2 years. So let's get a guy who's proven that can help us win now. We give up a lot. I think they gave up maybe a little too much, but at the same time, this is a team that can win now. And if they were to win now, the next 2 years wouldn't be such a huge deal. And a guy like this could put them on another level. I don't think this was like a glaring weakness of theirs. Like I like what Colby was doing there for them. He led the team in interceptions. He looked good. He was a nice playmaker. I think they were middle of the pack defensive stats wise. They were like 19th in the league in terms of passing yards. But if you saw, they mentioned 100 times during the playoffs that this was a team in situational third down, fourth down and goal, second half of the field goal range. They were one of the best teams defensively in pass defense. So I don't necessarily think this was the guy they needed to go all in on and give up a lot of their picks. But at the same time, if they feel so confident in the offense, and they have weapons everywhere, that they feel like let's just get this defense where we want it to be and take our chance, roll the dice. And for the Chiefs, give up a good player. It sucks that he progressed so well faster than the rebuild, but you need more assets than you do a single player on defense.
Yeah, definitely. You see, I see we're on the same page then because when it comes to Kansas City, I think it was great giving away a star secondary player like that for sure. But the assets that you got in return, it's like you can get a good secondary player in the first round and even in the second, third, fourth, whatever. But you got 4 picks in return for this guy. And yeah, he's, I would say, a playmaker on defense, and he's a guy that can be a difference maker for sure. But when you're getting 4 players in return, in essentially for him, I think it's a more of a win-win for you than it is a win-lose for you. And but when it goes to the Los Angeles side, it's like, dude, you guys are giving up so much young talent for this guy, and I know that you guys want to win now, but is he going to put you on that path to the Super Bowl and be that difference maker to actually get you to the Super Bowl? And then on top of that, try to win it, right? I think it more needs to be addressed on the defense for sure. If that is what they're going towards and they're probably going to make another trade, then I think, yes, this is a great opportunity and a great stepping stone in that direction for sure. But if you're just going to stop here and get this one secondary player when you got some other pieces that you need to fill on that secondary, I think it's kind of a miss, in my opinion, when you could have used these picks to try to get 2 or 3 secondary players and try to get them to maybe not the same caliber as Trent McDuffie, but at least close to it, and at least try to give them that trust and that belief that they can be that type of player to be the difference maker for them going on this long run. But with that being said, do you think Trent McDuffie will be that guy to lead the secondary and to lead the defense as well, even though they got Jared Verse, they got other key players there that they can lead themselves. But speaking on just the secondary, is he going to be that guy to lead them to going to get wins, to going to get to stop teams from getting so many points on the passing offense and try to get them to the Super Bowl? Is he going to be that guy?
Uh, I don't want to say no, right? Because I've seen like Stephon Gilmore and people like that just plug in and make a huge difference for a team that you didn't really pay attention to the secondary in a bad way. It wasn't like, man, they need a secondary piece, and then they added up. It's nothing like that. I don't think he's like the glaring fill, but I do think that defensively, a guy like that, will allow them to play a little more in the box because now you have another trusted person in the secondary that you're not like looking over your shoulder because they do have a lot of young talent. So and not bad young talent, but young talent. So you have somebody, not that he's aged or anything, but you have somebody who plays like a veteran already, does well, can kind of lead, is a good voice. I'm not going to say they're going to recreate the Seahawks, Legion of Boom here and have Sherman and great defense and safety and all that. But when you're a team that already feels confident that you can win that you can put up 30 points, you can put up every single game, 25 points or more, kind of like the Bengals thing. You don't need a lot of points to be held back on the other side. And I think if you saw, well, I'm sure obviously you did, you see the Rams Seahawks games with 2 games, I think that's really the games that they're more concerned about. You're just doing this to beat the Seahawks specifically, because they feel like they could beat anybody. And I think they feel like they can beat Seattle. They just didn't. And that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. They didn't, in the games that they really struggled to play, you saw the first game, I think it was like both teams were under 17 points or something like that, 17-7. It was really tight defensive games. And in those types of games, they just want to have that little more of an edge where, hey, if we score 17 because we can't put up 28, we can't put up 40, can we still win? And just coming short in those games against Seattle, I think is what they're at. Like, let's just close that gap, make it so that we don't have to score 30 points. We can't do too much more to help the offense because it's already stacked as it is. And defensively, we don't have a huge hole anywhere. But if we can add a little more veteran and close that up and trust the backside and then fill in the middle of the field with some draft picks or whoever, then hey, we go from there.
Yeah. I think to answer the question, I think no. I don't think he's gonna be that defensive maker to lead them to the Super Bowl. I think that they need another piece back there. Maybe on the other side of the field when it comes to the corner, or not another trusted safety. I think they need someone else is going to help him because I don't think he's going to be able to obviously not do it on your own. He's not going to be doing it on his own. But what you just mentioned, the veteran leadership of just him leading a whole secondary, I feel like you need someone else back there that's going to help him out to try to, because the Seahawks right now, that the way that they played on the passing game, the running game was fantastic as well. You saw it in the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots, and they were just clicking on all cylinders when it came to that offense. So, yeah, the LA Rams are going to be on that level, and they're not going to go anywhere as long as Matthew Stafford's there for sure. But I just don't see this particular trade making all the difference. Now, down the line, they make another trade and they get another secondary piece. I would say I'm all in, and I would choose the LA Rams to go to the Super Bowl for sure. But just getting him, giving away 4 picks just for him, I think it's a lot. I think it should have been maybe 2 picks, maybe a higher, like instead of a 5th round pick or a 6th round pick, maybe first and a third. Yeah, it's a lot, but it's only 2. I don't know. I just think it was too many picks for just one player for sure.
I hear that. I think they like what they see in Kobe Durant. He led their team interceptions last year, and he was a good playmaker for them. If you have him doing that, it's kind of like what you saw in Bland, when when he came in, when you guys had a lot of injuries in Dallas, and then you figure, oh, okay, when everybody's back and Bland's playing like that, we're gonna have a good team. Obviously that didn't Trey Diggs and that didn't work out in that way. But
Yeah,
that was kind of the belief. I think they're trying to, in a division that has good secondaries historically lately. I think that's what they're kind of trying to replicate. They say we take a tiny step up, whereas Seattle's kind of taking perceivably a tiny step back with Kenneth Walker leaving, and then who knows with Charbonnet with the injury, who knows, right? Like, and coming off the win, like it's hard to repeat. We then proceed to take a step back. We'll take any step forward that we can to make our defense great because we trust the offense that much. But like you said, I don't think I would have given that many picks either. But this is a team that's willing to go all in. I don't. That's their history lately.
yeah. I mean, they should go all in. Really, they were right there. They were about to make it, and
Yeah,
honestly, the way that they were looking, it looked like they were gonna win it all.
yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. That was that. So I know I mentioned I got not better or anything like that. It's just this is straight picks, no lines or anything. I had to pick every single playoff game right from the start of the playoffs on.
Uh,
But all season before that, before it came down to that, I we talked about it. I thought the Rams were going to go to the Super Bowl.
yeah.
And it wasn't until how I saw them look against Seattle that Seattle just looked so good. They looked like
Yeah.
the Miami Hurricanes defense where they were just clicking. So I just couldn't pick against them. But
Yeah.
they're there. They're definitely there, and I hate them. You beat my team in the Super Bowl as a
So many
result.
years.
I hate you
So many years
forever.
ago.